What's up, everybody? My name is DJ, and welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. As always, I am joined by my co-host, my sister,
Dallas.
Dallas, my friend Dan.
What's up, people?
And my brother Derek.
What's up, everybody?
And this week, you guys, we are talking about Wonder Woman 84. It just dropped on HBO Max and in theaters this past Christmas. What is so funny? I'm so confused.
Continue, please.
We're talking about Wonder Woman 84. We're gonna see is this movie good or is it not? We're gonna start with some non-spoilers. No news this week. Nothing really happened. So we're gonna start without spoiling the movie. That's gonna be real short. We're just gonna let y'all know what we thought about it and some general reasons why, and then we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty. And we'll let y'all know on that. I'm gonna start things off by saying just the baseline Wonder Woman 84 is disappointing.
That is a nice way to put it. Yes. I had high hopes for it. I was like looking forward to watching it. Now that I've seen it, I never want to see it again.
Ain't that the truth? I definitely don't want to watch this movie again. I might end up for whatever stupid reason, but I don't want to.
This movie was so bad to me. Like, I'm mad I wasted my time making snacks for this movie. Like, I set out for this to be like a full movie night. Like, I made cookies. I had like a real drink going on. And then I was like, dang, I could have saved all this effort for a better movie.
Yeah, man. I wasted my money going to the store buying snacks. I wasn't going to buy snacks otherwise.
I even popped popcorn. I don't even know when the last time I had popped popcorn.
I specifically bought movie popcorn. I didn't even eat it. The movie was that bad. I wasn't even into my popcorn. Yeah, but no, coming off of Wonder Woman, which was 4/5 of a good movie, it was I had high hopes for this one. Like, Wonder Woman was one of the good franchises in the DCEU. They had good actors in the movie. That way the first movie just turned out, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is going to be great. And then, I don't know, this movie's campy.
Yeah, and I don't get it. I don't know if it's campy because it took place in the 80s, but then were 80 movies campy? Because I feel like they were kind of edgier.
Ain't Terminator 80s?
Yeah, like Terminator, Wall Street. I don't know, anything else that took place in the 80s? So, Scarface wasn't that the 80s? So, I don't know. I don't remember.
I mean, it didn't have to be dark, though.
No, it doesn't have to be dark.
Stupid. Like, it was like purposely stupid. And I didn't understand why they went with that cheesiness for the movie. It didn't make any sense.
The tone feels off because what it's like, it's like you went from Captain America, as if the Captain America 2 was the tone of Spider-Man 1. Not saying campy movies can't be good. It can be. But, like,
it didn't fit.
It doesn't fit. After that World War I movie we got with Wonder Woman, it just didn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right for the character.
Not only that, it didn't land. You know, like, you can have some movies that are cheesy, like Thor Ragnarok is kind of a dumb, silly movie.
It's a campy, cheesy movie, yeah.
But they did it right. And here, they didn't do it right.
Yeah. Not to mention the writing. The writing is, I don't know. The writing is bad in this. I called it when I watched Captain Marvel, and I said it was the directors. I was like, it was directed bad. I called it. They changed the directors on the next Captain Marvel movie. This to me feels like it's the writing of this movie. Whoever the writers were, and I don't know who went along with it and said, oh, this is A-okay. It wasn't good. It's not a good story.
No.
It just is. Never talk to each other either. They just wrote what they wanted, and it was like, all right, well, we'll just piece this together. See what happens, but like the movie just didn't make sense. None of it made sense.
It didn't make sense. There was a lot of holes in it.
Tons of plot holes. Yeah.
Tons of plot holes. Bad CGI. How come DC can't get good CGI? Can we talk about that?
I don't
we
know.
need to call up ILM for them. Maybe like, what y'all doing?
Didn't they use ILM before? They should. I don't care if it's owned by Disney or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Is it just whatever? I'm tired of bad CGI in these DC movies. Like Cheetah's outfit looked horrible.
Yeah, even the costuming was bad.
Yeah,
you know what looked better? The Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh man! Wow.
Okay, like you say that, but I was thinking here, would they have not been better if they put her in a cat suit instead of going pure CGI?
Or a combination, like to put a cat suit and then touch it up with CGI.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That
probably would work better. Doing full CGI doesn't work well, especially things with a lot of hair, because hair is hard to animate.
Especially when you have a series of movies that have yet to nail their CGI. The CGI was bad in Justice League. It's bad in Batman v Superman. Like, they cannot get their CGI down.
Yeah, and that's why that fight, without spoiling anything, we know Wonder Woman fights Cheetah. It was at night because
the CGI was so
wasn't
bad.
Good. Yeah. So the writing was bad. CGI isn't good. There are a lot of plot holes. I felt like a lot of stuff they did, they were like, oh, we want this in the movie. Wonder Woman has this in the comics, right? Okay, let's put this in the movie. But they don't put an effort into like as to why in this universe she has this or whatever. It's like there are a few things that just seem thrown in. Just like, well, this is Wonder Woman's thing. Here it is. This is a Wonder Woman's thing. Here it is. And it's like it doesn't feel right in the context of watching.
I was like I'm not trying to spoil nothing, so I ain't gonna go too much.
Yeah, but that her armor, there was another one that was just kind of like, what was the whole point of this? Mm-hmm. So that was just dumb. Like you said, like they threw in a lot of like, oh hey, this was in a Wonder Woman comic. Let's put this in here. And then not only that, but like this movie was too long. Like too long.
2.5 hours.
It could have been about an hour shorter. Like cut those first two scenes out. Because the first scene, pointless. The second scene with the robbery, like, was it meant to be stupid? Because it was overly stupid.
It seemed like they were going for camp. And it kind of the second scene definitely set the tone of the movie. Like, hey, this is going to be the direction this movie is going in. Problem is, it just doesn't fit the character to me.
So off-putting, though.
Yeah.
Well, remember they had that robbery scene in Justice League. It was a lot better in Justice League.
Yeah.
When they had that robbery scene, she was saving them.
The robbery scene in Justice League, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
It wasn't campy, you know.
Yeah. Justice League was okay. It was just okay to me. But
I mean, some of the action scenes in this movie, I think, turned out all right.
But there was not enough. Like, I mean, is this a superhero movie or a romantic comedy? Because
it was 2.5 hours of no action.
No action. They had like 3 action scenes in it.
And let's say the final fight. I don't know what that was. I have no idea why, and like
it was a dirty look, and that was it. They just looked at each other.
I just want to say, what superhero movie where the hero does not physically fight the villain?
Well, see, that's one of my problems. Like, I felt like Cheetah was just thrown into the film because she got no screen time and was never a threat to Wonder Woman. Which, as far as my knowledge is, Cheetah's supposed to be like her arch nemesis, right?
Yeah. Which was another upsetting thing about this, because I was actually looking forward to Cheetah in the movie. I'm like, oh, it's going to be good. I'm thinking Cheetah versus Wonder Woman. Like, this is going to be, like, legit. Right. And
because they made no mention of Maxwell Lord, and they could have.
I mean, they had him in the cast. Like, I knew he was going to be in the movie.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah.
But the trailers made it seem like Cheetah was the villain, and Cheetah had like when she's Cheetah probably had 15 minutes of screen time, if that.
Yeah, and then even when she wasn't like legit Cheetah, still didn't have that much screen time. It was the wrong direction for this movie to go. When we get into spoilers, I guess we'll go into more detail on that. But yeah, like just completely wrong direction. Just
I mean, if you think about it, the villain for this movie was a magic rock. Think about it.
Okay, wait. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
That's not a spoiler,
isn't it?
How is that a spoiler?
Yeah, but no,
I don't said it wasn't Cheetah.
I don't even think The Rock was the villain. I think the concept of greed was the villain of the movie.
Look, I don't need life lessons in my superhero movies.
The concept of greed was the villain. Because The Rock wasn't controlling the.
That's how it is with Wonder Woman. But I mean, you would have had more pow, zip, and zap.
I would have. Those signs would have came on the screen. I didn't. The movie was so cheesy. If they would have threw in like a pow with the the words, I'd have.
I might have felt better about this.
I would have liked that more.
Yeah, because if you're gonna go camp, I want you to go 100%, like, all of it.
Like do it all of it. Full 1960s Batman.
I want the orchestra sound behind it too. That with the horns when they say "pow." Let's go. That's what I want.
That would have kept me entertained at least.
Yeah. Then it would have been stupid, but entertainingly stupid. This was just dumb.
What Dan just said, I was going to mention, like, I fell asleep 3 times during this movie. Like, there are whole parts I was like, oh, how did I get here? It didn't matter. It was so stupid. It didn't matter that I missed it.
It was definitely boring. I kept telling myself, okay, well, it's got time to get better. It's just a slow start. It's a slow start. It could get better. And then, like, at one point, I think it was kind of like, well, the first time she was Wonder Woman. The first time. She's not Wonder Woman until an hour into this movie. If you discount the second scene, like she opens the movie as Wonder Woman. Fine. From then on to an hour later, she's not Wonder Woman at all. Which can be okay if the story is interesting. It wasn't.
Well, it was okay because it worked for Captain America, right? The first Avenger, right?
Yeah.
We spent a lot of that time with him being Skinny Steve, and that was fine because the movie established him as a character. We all felt for him, blah, blah, blah. And this movie, especially when it's the second movie, I need my superhero to be doing superhero stuff.
Well, that's what I'm like. It's the second movie. Yeah,
exactly.
Winter Soldier, Captain America was Captain American, whatever, for a long time.
So in the second movie, I don't care about her job at the museum. Why are we talking about this? It's not important.
So at that point, I was like, okay, maybe it's picking up a little bit. Maybe we're gonna have a shift, right? In the movie, but no, it never did. It never did. I thought like after that action scene, I was like, okay, because now we're on the right track. They're figuring out what's happening, and we're gonna be, boom, going after the bad guys, and it's gonna be interesting. But no. Also, the one last point, I guess, before we get into spoilers, but the I don't get what the villain's point was. Like, I don't know what his aim was. At first, I thought I knew what his aim was, but then it just started not making sense.
I guess what you're saying, the whole thing was about greed. He got so greedy, he kept wanting more and more.
Yeah, but it did.
Yeah.
Okay. But to what end, though? I mean, like, I don't know. Even greedy people, like, have some sort of end. His end wouldn't have gotten him anything.
He didn't even know what he was affected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that didn't make sense. But I've got to talk about actual details. So I'm done with the spoiler free.
Yes. Okay. Great. You're not spoiling anything for you. Trust me. You're not missing it.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the movie, don't go see it. It's not good. Don't risk your life going to see it in the theater because, man, it's already a waste risking your life. But now it really wasn't worth it. 2, don't waste your time on HBO Max. It's nope. It's just not good.
If you're going to get HBO Max.
I think Derek's broken.
Why?
I was gonna say we saw it for free and it was still a waste of money.
Yeah. It was a waste of my free money.
They owe us money right now.
Yeah.
They do.
Like, what was this? What was this?
I mean, that's 2.5 hours. I mean, I just charge them my hourly rate? Like, this is what I want back from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So speaking of that, I did have a bit of news for Wonder Woman. The Rotten Tomato score seems to be sliding. It started off at 88% for the critics. Now that more critics have seen the movie, it is down to, I believe, 65 last time I checked. A big drop off. The audience score is dropping as well, but it's still a bit too high.
What's the rating when it gets to like green splat on Rotten Tomatoes?
I don't know. It's no longer certified fresh though.
Oh, did they change the commercial? Because they gotta change that commercial.
They gotta change that commercial. It's not certified fresh anymore. So I guess the people that got paid to watch it are the first ones to watch it.
Of course, those always, yeah, and they're gonna have good reviews.
Let's be honest, like. If you pay me to watch a movie, I'm still gonna say if it suck or not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you watch this movie and can honestly say it was good or it was better than the first one. Because that's one, and I was like,
oh, people that say this is better than the first one, I'm like, what?
There was some reviews that was like it was better than the first one.
No,
like, you're a crazy person.
Nowhere near.
I'm like, did we watch the same movie?
The first one was good. This is the opposite.
I mean, we can all admit the first one was 10/11ths of a good movie. Like, it's
right, like, okay, the third act had some issues, but overall, the first one was a good movie.
Yeah,
this one started off. I'm like, man, this movie's starting off real slow. Because I even said, like, this is a strong do while folding clothes, and then it just
slid down from that.
We were being generous then.
That it wasn't going to improve, which is a bad thing. When your first two scenes, I hate it, and it's like, man, this isn't good, and then you just got worse as you went along.
Yeah. The movie got worse. So let's talk spoilers. First, I'm gonna talk first scene. The first scene, which actually was on the internet, so I don't know if that's not even a spoiler, but it was pointless. The little scene with her in the Themyscira Olympics or whatever. What was the point of that?
It's supposed to teach some life lessons about something or another.
It served no purpose. It did not pay off in the end of the movie. It was just a scene that did nothing. And that tells you how the rest of the movie's going to go. If you have a scene that literally, you start the movie with a scene that does nothing in the movie, then it's just...
There wasn't even a callback to that scene.
There was kind of one.
But she gives a speech. So, yeah.
Wonder Woman, at the end, that's how she saved the day, by giving a speech. Because she couldn't get through the wind being made by him
to defeat the villain.
She was getting blown back by the wind. So
wait, did she lose her magic rope? Because that rope got some magic powers now.
No, that's how she got him. She showed everyone the truth, apparently. I don't know.
But my thing is, the lasso of truth got some more powers. I was like, oh, this thing is stretched to be 500 feet long now?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
like this rope does everything.
I defeated the villain the movie was by writing a thesis.
Wait.
That's how she defeated him.
She defeated the villain by writing a thesis. So yeah, let's talk about that villain then. Maxwell Lord is the main villain of the movie. Which, again, you lied to me because I thought Cheetah was the main villain. And why, like, I get people are saying, yeah, Maxwell Lord is one of Wonder Woman's most threatening villains. I don't know anything about him, but whatever they did in this movie, he wasn't threatening. Like, it was dumb.
He's supposed to be kind of like Purple Man. You know how Purple Man can influence you. So wait, I did look it up, and I was going to say it in my other part, but hold on. Let me grab my notes.
Okay. So while she's grabbing her notes on Maxwell Lord, I feel like Cheetah would have been a more compelling villain.
I feel like the only reason Cheetah was in this movie is because Wonder Woman needed a person to physically fight. And since Maxwell Lord is a human, she couldn't fight him. So it's like, oh, well, we need a superpower villain. And so then they just tossed Cheetah in. But even then, that fight scene with Cheetah was so basic and stupid. Like, it didn't even pay off. Okay. No. I got it. So in the comics, Maxwell Lord is a human that requires his power from an alien invasion, and he has the power for people to carry out his or their own wishes. And it was caused by an alien invasion. Honestly, I like that better than the magic rock.
Yeah, that actually works out better.
In this movie, they extended his power to be from this rock, basically.
Yeah, they changed it to be from the rock. But even let's say, even if you kept it that his power was from the rock, it still could have been done better. it still could have been done better.
In the comics, he has the ability to persuade people to carry out their wishes. So kind of like Purple Man, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
I would like if they did that angle better. I feel like that makes more sense. The Rock was just stupid, especially since The Rock is something completely different in the comic.
Yeah, and then they used it as just it can do anything thing. So like, we want Steve Trevor back in this movie. So she wishes Steve Trevor back. Oh no. Oh, and let me talk about how dumb the Steve Trevor thing was. Now this Rock, right, can create nuclear weapons out of nowhere, made a wall around a country. But with Steve Trevor, when she wished him back, all of a sudden he took over someone else's body instead of actually being Steve Trevor. Why?
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
Yeah, like how come he couldn't just be Steve Trevor?
Like that whole arc was dumb. He could have just been Steve Trevor.
It's a romantic comedy because at the end when she ends up running into the real guy again, wearing that same outfit, I'm like, for real, y'all? I'm like, is this a meet cute? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It was pointless. Again.
Horrible.
Also, can I say Wonder Woman? Yo, girl. You need to get over Steve Trevor. You knew him for a week. And it's been how long? It was since 1919 to 1984.
Oh, like 70 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to.
Hey, y'all don't talk about Captain America.
No,
yeah, him too. Him too. He needs to be over Peggy.
When Captain America ain't never.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't gonna say it because the movie was good. So.
Yeah, like we never mentioned because the movie was good.
Captain America needed to move on, but I don't know. You know, maybe Steve Trevor, put it on her and she just can't get over it. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it was her first, but still, like, whatever.
70 years is a long time, though.
Like, come on. All right, so
she's an Amazon, though. How good can a regular man be? Amazon.
That's good.
I don't understand. Just a new experience,
I don't know, but like, it was just dumb. It was him. Like, and I'm not saying some of the scenes between him and her weren't bad. It's just like the way they put him in. It was just so convoluted. You could tell that they just wanted Steve Trevor to be back in the movie, and they just found some way to do that. We need Cheetah to get her powers. The Wishing Stone. Maxwell Lord, obviously now we know where his powers were supposed to come from. We need him to get his powers some way too. The Wishing Stone. I feel like they just used it as a crutch for everything in this movie, and it kind of destroys it all.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Agreed.
So you got that. We talk about the campy mall scene?
Yes.
That looked like it was taken out of Spider-Man 2, which was a good movie.
It was just, watching it, I was just like, man, is this supposed to be this dumb? But I guess it was purposely that dumb. That scene right there took me out of the movie, and we were only 20 minutes in.
Yeah. That was obviously purposely campy, which, again, like we mentioned, campy can be fine. I mentioned that it looked like it came out of Spider-Man 2, and that's fine in Spider-Man 2, but Wonder Woman 2, especially when your first movie was a World War I movie, it just doesn't fit. That's not what the audience is expecting.
Yeah. And then I feel like they used that scene to establish like how the Smithsonian got the Rock, but I'm like, it's a museum.
They could have just had it in the museum.
They have a bunch of old stuff. Like, we didn't need the robbery scene to connect to that. It was unnecessary. A museum has stuff. Yeah. It could have just had it. Like,
it could have just came in a shipment. This was just found.
And then now they found out what it was because maybe it started doing little things or whatever. Who knows? But they could have just, we don't even know how they got it. Or how the museum got half the stuff that they got.
Or Maxwell Lord found out about it and he was looking for it. And so now he goes to the museum because he found out it's there. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all we need.
Yeah. Those first two scenes could have been cut from the movie.
Absolutely. Pointless scenes.
Am I the only one that feels like there was no reason for this movie to take place in 1984?
There was no reason for this movie to take place in 1984.
It could have taken place in any time period. Quite literally. This could have been 1940. Same thing.
Of setting it in 1984, especially because this is going to be in my nitpicks, so I'm going to save it. But the doesn't line up with your extended universe by setting it in 1984.
Yeah. At all.
Just, it doesn't make any sense.
There's a few different things that upset me about this movie after watching it, and I told my wife, I was like, think about the scene when Wonder Woman in the first movie enters no man's land, and she goes through all that, takes all the shots, and then they save that town afterwards. Like, that was a powerful scene, and like it had so much weight to it, more than just the action, right? In the story had weight. There's no scene like that in this movie. No. And like, because none of it means anything. Even though some of the action is good in the movie, none of it means anything. And that's what I'm saying. Like, for Wonder Woman, I feel like this is just a complete disservice to the character. Like, if this was Shazam, fine, all right, you know, cool. He could do that.
Shazam, like, Shazam was, popular, and like that's what the tone that they want to go through. But that's a completely different movie. You know what I mean? Like, Wonder Woman, Batman, like, they cannot be campy movies. They just can't. Like, Wonder Woman, to me, has to follow the same tones that Captain America's movies have.
Yep. And his movies have all been good, and they've been pretty much the same tone. Because that's the character.
Yeah, so I don't understand the logic and the reasoning for it to be so campy, for you setting it in 1984. And I feel like maybe they felt like because it was in 1984, then it had to be campy. But then it goes back to, I don't know a movie from the 80s that was campy like that. I guess I'm sure there were. I mean, I haven't seen that many 1980 movies, but I just feel like that wasn't a decade for that. So I don't understand the reason why they went in that direction.
Yeah. But our main villain is Maxwell Lord, which apparently he has his actual powers pretty much, except for they added the thing of it taking away his health. I don't know why. But him using granting people's wishes was destroying his health. Some reason.
Well, because it was saying that it's a consequence.
I get that.
You get what you want. So
I was saying for him particular,
he wanted to be the stone. So I felt like he eventually was going to turn into that.
You know what I understand is, why did he wish to be the stone instead of just wishing for his company to be successful?
Right. Well, he wished for stone so he can get more than one wish.
Like, one, I didn't understand why he stole the stone when he could have just made that wish right then and there, right, when he was with Cheetah. Like, he didn't have to steal it. Then I don't understand, like, you stole it and then you wish to become the stone when you could have just wished. Like, he wanted his company to be successful, right? Because basically, he's told all these stories, but he wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
So why not just wish for a successful company? I don't understand why he took 100 steps forward.
Yeah, and that's part that I don't get. Now, I know he wished to become the stone so he can, in a roundabout way, get more than one wish. But what was the end game was the question. Because it started off, it just seemed like he wanted to have like the most successful oil company and just be on top of the world that way. And at that point, it kind of made sense. Like, okay, well, he's a businessman and he's not doing well. He wants to. Even at the end of the movie, when they showed his backstory, which I think was a bad idea. I think they should have set up the villain before. Don't show the setup for the villain at the very end of the movie. But they showed his backstory. Even then, it would have made sense if his end goal was just to have that successful company. Because no one believed in him. He was picked on the whole time. All that. He just wanted to show that he can be great. And that would have been the end game. But as he kept going further and further with the wishes, at some point I was like, what's your point? Because by the end of the movie, the world was about to destroy itself in nuclear war because of him. And I'm just like, so what does that do for you? You won't be great. The world will be destroyed. You can't be great if there's no one else. Right, you need somebody to be greater than.
Just wish to be great. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why he just didn't wish to be great.
That's the thing that I was looking at, because I mean, when it comes to villains, usually when you set up a villain, it's like, all right, we get it. Maybe something happened in his life that was traumatizing that he felt like wasn't fair. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get my revenge somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? Did not get that. And then the dude gets the stone, and like y'all said, he wants to be successful or whatever. Know what I mean? Why not just wish for that? Now he's granting everybody's wishes, and I'm guessing it does something to his health, like it helps his health. But once everybody gets everything that they want, everybody in the world, they got everything that they want because they wish for it. Okay, so what now?
Yeah.
Not what? Like, what do you do after that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, there's no, like you said, there ain't no end game. Like you don't have, like, ain't nobody gonna worship you or, you know, bow down to you and nothing like that. It's just, okay, now everybody's got what they want. Did you ever get this successful company or whatever you were starting out with? It's like he just went like insane for no reason, kind of.
Yeah,
Just
like
way left.
it just went all on the deep end. Like I thought once he had his company, it was cool. And actually, we thought about it, and I was like, what would have made this movie better? You could have kept the story almost the same. You could have kept the wishing stone. You could have kept getting stupid Steve Trevor back by the wishing stone and all that. If he ended with having his successful oil company, but Cheetah got her powers from the stone, and they do their research and learn that, like, that's what happened, and they have to stop him because he wished to be the stone or whatever and is causing problems. And Cheetah was the main villain because she won't let them stop Maxwell Lord. That would have been a better movie. Because Cheetah had a actual concrete reason for stopping them from getting to Maxwell Lord. She had an actual good reason in the movie, but they didn't focus on it. It was just a little bit at the end, I can't let you do this. And then she fights her for 10 minutes, and then that's it.
10 minutes is generous. She fight her for like a half a second. And then even then when she becomes full-blown Cheetah, she's like, I wish to become an apex predator. Well, I thought she only got one wish. How come she got two?
How come she got two? I don't know. Because she made her wish on the stone itself first. And then it was granted by Maxwell Lord afterward. I don't think that count. I don't know. I was thinking that during the movie. I'm like, how did she get two?
I don't. It never said anywhere that once he got the stone power that now everybody can get unlimited wishes. That was never like.
So you only get one wish.
Yeah, you only get one wish.
Yeah, so she got two. Because he even said he went to a guy and he told him to wish something and nothing happened. And he was like, did you wish for something already? And he was like, yeah, I wished for a Porsche. And so he had to go to someone else.
Unless she renounced her first wish and made another one.
But wishes, which we'll talk about later.
I thought that she was gradually changing, and that basically that's what she was losing was her humanity.
No, when he was in the satellite place or whatever, she was like, I wish I was an apex predator.
Yeah, and then she turned
walked
into
away.
Cheetah.
Then the next time you saw her, she was full blown Cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because her first wish was that she wanted to be like
Diana.
Wonder Woman. Diana. That's why she got all strong and everything like that, because that's what Wonder Woman was. She didn't know that, but that's what she was for, and that's what she became. I don't know. I don't even remember if she eventually put two and two together. Like, oh, I wish I wanted to be like her, and I'm strong.
She did.
Strong. I don't even know.
Yeah, she
I'm like, you kind of got to, right?
Okay, well, yeah. So that was her first wish. So, and she shouldn't have been turned into no cat because of that. I mean, y'all know ain't no cat. So, like, so I think, like what you were saying there, I think her second wish wanting to be an apex predator, like nothing else that exists. That's when she started like turning into that.
Yeah.
So then it's like, how come she got more than one wish?
They broke their own
rules.
No
one else did.
And if there's anything we complain about is breaking your own rules. We complained about it in Endgame. We complained it. What movie we complained about that in? It was another one. They broke their own rules. It was a good movie.
Time travel.
Yeah. Don't break your own rule. If you set a rule.
Ant-Man.
We complained about it in Ant-Man. They broke their own rules. Same thing here. Don't break your own rules. You set a rule in your universe, stick to it. We know it's fantasy or sci-fi or whatever, but if you tell me that this is the rule, then I'm expecting you to stick to that rule. That's what you got to do. And they didn't do it. I hate that when it happens in movies. I usually let it slide if it's a good movie. This one wasn't. So... but yeah, I feel like they missed opportunity with Cheetah being the main villain there. Even if you kept the story almost the same, it could have still been a better story. Without Maxwell Lord going crazy and just granting the entire world wishes, he could have stopped at being an oil monger, and he just has Cheetah as protection just because she wants to keep her powers. That's it. You would have been fine. it actually would have made sense. I feel like this movie...
You didn't even have people questioning what was going on.
Right.
On how all of this was happening.
Yeah.
Like some crazy man gets on the TV and tells you to make a wish, and you just started wishing things.
They just go with it. They just went with it. Oh, awesome. I've been waiting for this all day. Nobody's questioning it. That's how you know that. Well, no, never mind.
So
never mind.
I feel like it suffers for, and I mentioned it before, obviously it's the writing of the movie. I feel like it suffers from them trying to do too much in the movie. They went one step further or 5 steps further on a lot of the things. We mentioned in the spoiler free with them just throwing stuff in from the comics because they wanted to. Wonder Woman's invisible jet. Well, she needs an invisible jet without setting a precedence or anything. It would have been a little bit better if they started with her. She says she practiced on a mug. If at the beginning of the movie she was trying to turn a mug invisible, and then she couldn't find it anymore, it would have set the precedent for her turning the jet invisible. But no, just at that point, it was just like, I'm trying to do this, and I can turn this entire jet invisible. Now it is. I'll never use this power again.
It wasn't even difficult.
Right.
You just talked it up to make it seem like it was difficult, but it wasn't difficult at all.
Well, this whole movie had things about just like throwaway lines like, oh, flying is just wind and air. Now she can fly.
Yeah,
like,
Trevor told her that she can fly. How does he know?
It's wind and air. I jump off this building. Just wind and air. I can fly. Like, look, what?
I know what they were going for because Man of Steel had that scene with Superman learning how to fly after he talked to his father. Some people say they had problems with that scene. I thought that scene was fine. Obviously, he figured out he can do more than he thought because he just talked to his father on the spaceship, and he had the scene of trying to fly, and you had the cool effects of all that. This one, she's just like, I think I can fly because it's just wind and air. I don't know if I would have gotten that because a pilot who flies planes told me that that's how flying works. I would have just thought like, okay, it's not that hard to fly a plane, maybe.
That's how flying works for planes.
Yeah.
Not people.
Right. So how exactly does she fly? She don't have like rudders or nothing. Just wind and air.
Yeah, you don't think about that concept to themselves every day. Like,
and I get it. Wonder Woman can fly. It would have been better if she learned some other way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know
maybe she was plummeting to her death, and she's like out of desperation, she figures out that she can defy gravity. That's better.
That she should learn on her super duper island when all they do is fight each other. You tell me the flying skills not something you learn?
No, I think she's the only one that can fly.
Where?
You gotta remember,
she's the only one that can fly?
She's Amazonian, but she is not the same as the rest of them. She's Wonder Woman because she's Zeus's daughter.
Okay.
So she can do more than a regular Amazonian can.
All right.
Which makes her special. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm just...
Yeah. So I'm just... you had that. So the invisible jet was dumb. Her armor was supposed to be a big part of this movie. What was the deal with the armor? She had it wrapped in packaging paper hanging on her wall. And Steve Trevor's just like, hey, what's this? Oh, it's armor.
Amazon had just delivered it. It was supposed to come the day before, but Amazon had just got it there. She didn't get a chance to unwrap it. I get that. Fine. Amazon in 1984. I get it.
Obviously, that was probably one of the scenes I was sleeping in. Did not know it was just a lot wrapped up in her house.
Yeah, and then
I probably was sleeping in that part.
They told some 2-minute story, a 30-second story about how one Amazonian wore the armor to protect the Amazons from the wrath of men, so she took all their blows while they escaped back to Themyscira. And if you're going to ask me for what else happened there, I don't know, because that's all they told us.
That's all that was said.
That's it.
What I don't get is like this gold armor was supposed to be a big deal, but when she put it on, it only slowed her down, and Cheetah still ripped it up.
Yeah, Cheetah destroyed it.
So I was like, what was the point of this? It's like Captain America getting his shield, but then it turns out not to be bulletproof.
Peggy just shoots him through the shield.
Trying to find that out. It's all good. That really would suck.
It
I'm gonna
would.
write a bad review about this shield.
But that's what I felt like watching it. I was like, oh, she got the gold armor on, right? She must be about to do some things. And then she like starts losing this fight.
Yeah, it's like it just looked nice.
It served no purpose.
I feel like there should have been more to it. And then it's like, if it was such an important armor, why was it wrapped in paper on your wall? What is going on? And then like that whole scene was just so Steve Trevor can go, what's this? Oh, that's an armor that I have. Hey, maybe I should put it on. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. Like, it was dumb. It was so dumb. So many, like, yeah, a lot of stuff just, it was thrown in there. I don't know. Like, they just wanted stuff to happen. And so they wrote, they needed a script doctor, and I feel like they didn't do that step in script writing. I feel like most movie scripts are like this beforehand, and then it goes through a few rewrites, and they're like, hey, we got to clean this up.
Editors or something?
Yeah.
Someone edit this. Tell me if it's all right. Someone edit my CGI. Like, you know what? Let's go a different direction because it don't look good. I feel like the editors were fired and the writers were paid more because, hey, we don't got no editors. We can pay y'all more. And they just went crazy.
This movie has been delayed for like a year, right? They had time to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, someone had to watch this movie while it was sitting on the shelf, right?
They definitely
Someone
did.
should have watched this movie and said, like, we can make some changes.
This makes me think, do studio execs actually know what good movies are? I'm starting to think they don't.
Apparently.
Probably not.
Because every time the studio gets involved, and not just Warner Brothers, every time Disney or DreamWorks, whatever, whoever we're talking about, every time they get involved, the movie turns out to be bad.
The studio
ran. It's a politics thing. Like, even at your regular job, you got the people that actually do the work, you got the managers, and then you got the people over them that end up making the decisions about things they ain't even looking at. They ain't had no experience in, but they're like, hey, we're at the top, so our word goes. And that's when everything gets messed up.
Yeah.
That's probably something that happened here when the studios get involved.
I mean, you're exactly right. Like, when I work for the city, they like come down with these rules, and I'm like, well, you're not out here with us. You can't say you need to do this if you're not here every day.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even with Marvel, we saw how it started in phase 2. It started to backslide before Disney gave full reins to Kevin Feige and said, hey, you run this. Right? Before they did that, phase 2 really started to backslide. Yeah,
because they start saying, oh, you guys need to put this in there, and every movie must have this, when it's just like, leave well enough alone. Like, let your directors direct, let your producers produce, and then you sit back and just cash your check. Yeah, but in this one, I mean, this wasn't a studio thing. This was a Patty Jenkins thing.
Which is so disappointing. I'm like, I don't, because, like, first movie, right? Patty Jenkins had 14/15 of that movie. So, like, I don't, like, just...
that number keeps changing. It keeps going up.
4/5, 10/11.
And then, like, what's a 14/15? Like, what kind of ratio is that?
Like, what are we doing?
So, but
these pie slices are getting real small.
But she had most of that movie, right? Right. Zack Snyder had a part of it, but Patty Jenkins had most of the first Wonder Woman movie. Are we just dealing with different writers, or what? Like, what's the difference? Because I'm confused at how she made the first Wonder Woman and then made this, because this is completely different. If you would have asked me if this was Patty Jenkins, I would have said no, because it doesn't seem like it.
But didn't she write part of this movie?
I think she did, which is...
So, I guess the real question is Patty Jenkins really a good director?
Maybe she's a good director, but not a writer. Maybe she should stay away from the pen. Just put the pen down, Patty.
Probably, man. You get so high up, you think you can do everything under you, but no.
Right, because she didn't write on Wonder Woman 1, we're saying?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't say for sure.
If this is true, Then Patty, don't write, please. Your directing in Wonder Woman 1 was good. I'm gonna say your directing in Wonder Woman 1 is good. So I haven't lost faith in you as a director because I know you can do good work. Don't write. Just don't do it. Nope. Sometimes we got to learn that we're not that good at things.
I'm telling you.
Like
Please.
I don't know. And I'm like, I think part of it is I had such high hopes for this movie. You know, I walked into this thinking like, man, this is gonna be great. I'm like, this might even be better than Wonder Woman 1. I'm expecting the Winter Soldier to the first Avenger, you know? Like, I'm expecting that from this movie. And it's not what I got. I got Spider-Man 3. That's not what I was looking for. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3, if you're watching this after the Marvel Spider-Man 3 comes out. Talking about the Sam Raimi one. It's just... yeah, just disappointing. I don't know.
Highly disappointing.
Yeah.
Highly disappointing.
It was.
Yeah, just highly disappointing. Yeah.
I agree. I was mad. Could have spent my Saturday a better way.
Like, I woke up the next morning like, man, I am mad I spent my time on this movie.
I was angry.
Like, legit angry I watched this movie.
I was...
I was so upset. I had to start looking at. I'm like, okay, it had to be other people to watch this and disliked it as much as I did.
Oh yeah, I immediately start reading reviews on IMDb. Like, I'm not the only one that just
like I'm not crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I know I saw what I think I just saw, and I know everybody else saw the same thing. So I'm telling you, once I'm laying there watching it, once I lit my candles. I was down. I was like,
I think my downfall was at one point. I was like, oh, it's cold in here. Let me grab a blanket. And
that's it.
and that is when I started to fall asleep on this movie.
I didn't fall asleep. I was bored. And my wife just kept asking, what's going on? I don't understand what's happening. And here's how you know a movie is bad. Because my wife is generally positive about whatever movie. Like, if it's a movie and it's slightly okay, she likes it. She's like, it's the greatest movie ever. Okay? She's like, I kind of like Justice League. Extremely bad movie, but she kind of likes it. She hated this movie. This is how you know it's bad. She thinks that Justice League is better than this movie. I don't know if I would say that, but...
This is the worst movie I've seen in a while. Like, watching the movie, it was just, I couldn't.
Justice League might be better than
honestly, like I said, I would rather watch Justice League than watch this.
Honestly, I think Green Lantern is better than this. I think Batman and Robin is
Green
better
Lantern.
than this.
Oh, that's a take.
Ooh. Did you just say Green Lantern?
Green Lantern is better than this movie.
Ooh.
Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi Green Lantern?
Man.
It's better.
Wow.
You mean the movie where he fights a giant cloud at the end, right?
Yep, that one.
That was back in the day when we decided that our villains should just be giant clouds. Why do we go through these things? I don't know. I'm going to say a few things that this movie is not bad because there are a few things going around the internet, which I think is dumb. It's not a feminist movement movie. I don't understand why some people are saying that.
That stars a woman is a feminist movie. It's not.
It's not that. As I said, actually, it would have been better if the two females were the focal point of the movie. I think it was a more interesting movie than. No, it wasn't. So if you hear people saying it, those people are just sexist. It's not even close. They didn't even have a woman empowerment moment in this movie. I don't understand where they got it from, but okay. I guess because Kristen Wiig beat up a dude that tried to sexually assault her, which, like, okay. I don't like. That's not women empowerment. That's just like, don't.
Yeah, it's just every day.
Yeah,
it's just everyday life. It happens.
Yeah. So
not okay with it. It happens every day.
Yeah, so there's that, and then some people said it was an anti-Trump movie. I honestly, you guys are stretching. It's definitely not. Maxwell
Like I
Lord.
read that, and I couldn't get like where they were drawing those parallels from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where? Who represents Trump?
I guess they were saying,
Max Lord?
yeah, they were saying Max Lord was gonna. I'm like, no, there's no way. Just because someone's a businessman doesn't mean he's a parody of Trump. Like, there is no similarities at all in that. I'm like, there's a stretch. People are reaching for things. Those are not reasons why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are not reasons why this movie's bad.
Whatever you want to see in a movie. I saw that and I couldn't, like, I was just like, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Like, how this could possibly be an anti-Trump movie, but whatever.
Yeah. So, like, it's bad for other reasons, not those. But yeah, it's bad. Okay, so we had our extras. Dallas, you wanted to get into that?
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, so let's go with some movie type news. The movie earned $16.7 million in theaters in the U.S. and Canada, which was the best release during this COVID period. So good for them. About half of HBO Max's, they call them retail subscribers, watch the movie. Now, retail subscribers does not include us because we watched it through Hulu. So it only include people who signed up for HBO Max through HBO Max. So if you watched it through Hulu or any other streaming service, that number does not count.
Okay.
And because this movie was so successful, despite the fact that we all hated it, Warner Brothers just greenlit the third movie with Patty Jenkins as the director.
I'm going to put a hot take out there. I'm going to say Wonder Woman 3 was going to happen regardless.
Guaranteed, but they were saying Warner Brothers was happy with how it, performed, blah, blah, blah.
You can't make that decision after a day.
Sure they can. Okay. Pedro Pascal, who played Max Lord, said he based his portrayal of him off of Gordon Gekko from Wall Street, obviously, and Lex Luthor from the 1978 Superman, also obvious. And he based his performance on Nicolas Cage. Nothing should ever be based on Nicolas Cage.
Bad idea. Now, I'm going to say this about the acting. I don't think the actors, with probably what they were told to do, did a bad job at what they were told to do. Like, obviously, from that first scene, yeah,
I don't think it was bad acting at all.
From the first scene, it was supposed to be campy, so I wasn't thrown out by the way Pedro Pascal portrayed Max Lord, because it obviously was how this movie was supposed to go. It's a difference than Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, which was horrible. So, yeah.
So the acting. I guess that's one thing with this movie. The acting was fine. It's just the movie sucked, so it's kind of hard to judge everything else. Apparently the role of Cheetah was offered to Emma Stone, but she declined.
She actually would be a good Cheetah.
I think so, but it's kind of hard to say. Like, I didn't like Kristen Wiig when she.
I did like Kristen Wiig.
She wasn't giving.
I feel like Kristen Wiig was the only good thing about the movie.
Yeah, bright spot in the movie. Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen more though.
Yeah. Definitely.
And
I feel like there's an opening for her to still be Cheetah. No, it's not gonna.
I'm gonna bring that up.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right. That was all for my facts. We got some nitpicks though. Okay, his son, was no one watching this kid like this entire time he was just sitting across the country?
Nope.
Like, was this kid just sitting alone in an empty office building to be, wander around?
Dad to come back.
Yeah, he was Parent of the Year.
Just didn't make any sense. This kid is just watching the stuff on TV. Like, come home, Daddy. I want you to be with me. Like, seriously? What's going on? Where's this kid's mama at?
And then at the end of the day, he just gets to go get his kid and not get arrested.
Yes, that is my very next point. So there's no consequences at all for what he did. Nope. This dude's about to go to jail, right? He nearly destroyed the world.
Technically steal the stone? Technically, he stole the stone. It wasn't his.
If nothing else, that's grand larceny, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that was owned by the FBI. So he stole from the FBI. I'm pretty sure that's something worse.
Mm-hmm. They were coming to pick it up.
So I don't understand. Like, there was like zero consequences to all of this. You just whatever. We're gonna get to that. All right, we already talked about the gold armor. Yes, we talked about how she can magically make this invisible plane after processing once on a coffee cup. Okay, so now she can just turn a whole plane invisible. I talked about how I hate how the lasso of truth can do everything now. Okay. Chris Pine. What's his name? Steve Trevor in the movie?
Steve Trevor.
So isn't it fantastic how he goes from flying planes in World War One, which is like 1920, to flying a modern day plane in 1984 like nothing? Like this dude don't miss a beat.
Yeah. My wife was like, she didn't pass that either. She's like, he can't fly that plane. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like he would learn easier because he had a background. Like, he probably quicker to learn, but he wouldn't be able to just hop in a plane and fly it.
Think about it, 19 technology. I'm sure there might have been some sort of radar or whatever in those planes. To 1984, that's a lot of technology. That's a lot that went into airplanes from then until now. Like, there's no way he hops in that plane and just flies it. See, when you spent the entire movie with him being impressed by all the new stuff that happened in 1980.
Yeah. I go as far like we have cars that you have keys that you start with the ignition. And then you have cars where you push start. If you haven't driven a push start before and you get into a push start car, you're hesitant on what do I do? How do I get this car started? Where do I put the key? Oh, I don't need a key. And it's just like there's a hesitance to you driving that car. It's just like he got in the plane and was like, where's the start button? Okay. Gas. We're good. And I'm like, you didn't fly a plane like that in 1920.
Right? Dude, I got thrown off when BMW moved where their start button was. Because it used to be on the dashboard, and then they moved it, and it threw me off. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
They put them start buttons everywhere, man.
I kept forgetting to turn the car off when I got out.
Yeah, because you got your key already. I'm like, it must be off because the key ain't in the ignition. So it's like, oh wait.
When I first got my push start, I kept leaving the key in the car because I would take it and I'll put it in the like next to me, and and then like I would get out of the car and I'd be like, I left it in the car because like I didn't have to pull it out or anything. So you and he flew it smoothly, being able to get up off the runway and stuff, navigated his way to Egypt or whatever. They went to Egypt, right? I don't know where they went. They went to
Cairo.
That was my thing. I was like, how he know how to get to Egypt?
Right. He just know how to read a computerized system now. When he come from a place with no computers, makes no sense. Okay. Still on the topic of this airplane. The Smithsonian has a runway behind it. It doesn't, by the way. I checked just in case I was wrong, but I wasn't. It doesn't. So not only that, but then it has a fully operational and fueled airplane behind it, and then a random museum employer can just access it. Like, bruh. And then this plane can fly nonstop from DC to Cairo. It doesn't make any sense.
This was because
1984.
So here's what happened. They started with invisible jet, and then they went backwards from there on how they get it. Which I get that's probably how you need to operate, but they just went the easiest route. How do we get the invisible jet? Well, there are jets behind the museum, and she could just get to it, and Steve Trevor can fly.
Why not just have her drive and half an hour up the street and go to Dulles or something and steal an airplane or anything? You're in DC. Just hop to Maryland or Virginia and go to an army compound and steal an airplane. The airplane's behind the museum because that makes sense. In the middle of a city.
They did this because he didn't have a passport. I feel like it would have been easier for her to sneak him on the plane.
Of all, why couldn't he use the dude's passport whose body he was taking?
Apparently he didn't have a passport.
That was my first thought. That was my first thought when he said, I don't have a passport.
Seriously? You're in someone else's body. Just take his passport.
Right. And obviously the only one who knows that you're Trevor Noah. Oh, wait, no, not Trevor Noah. What's his name?
Trevor.
Steve Trevor. Is Wonder Woman. So what's the? I don't. I mean, what? I'm lost, man. Again, I'm lost.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what y'all creating problems that ain't even really there. I mean, come on.
Okay.
It's
All right. So Wonder Woman
Oh,
learned
man.
how to fly in 1984. How come she can't fly in the other movies? How come she can't?
I think she flew in Justice League. They
I think she just jumped really far.
I don't
okay.
remember her flying.
I feel like she just jumped really far.
Right. And then on that same note of all that craziness that happened in 1984, does no one in present day time remember this? Like, how is Wonder Woman still a mystery after all the craziness that happened in 1984?
Even if she got away, I guess nobody really saw her, which besides like the people in the White House or whatever. Okay, but is no one going to talk about the world going to absolute crap in a day? Like,
I feel like we would still have news feeds of Max Lord on a TV talking about wish some more and blah blah blah. Like, that would be part of history.
That was like,
Yeah, like, hey, remember when this happened?
The entire planet. Like, the entire planet. I don't remember when we went to war with Russia and shot nukes. Also, would that have ended when the nukes disappeared, or would they have just shot more nukes at each other?
Disappear and not cause nuclear fallout. They just crumble. Are we just gonna pretend like they're not bombed?
I think they just ceased to exist or something. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. We touched up on this a little bit, but Max Lord didn't think to steal people's health in return for wishes until like the end of the movie. Like, you think you had to figure that out, right?
He said when he asked the guy to wish for something because he wanted to get his health, and he did, and then nothing happened. And he was like, "Oh, you wished something already?" And he was like, "Yeah, I wished for a Porsche." When he runs outside, I'm thinking the next dude he talked to, he's going to trick him to wish for something so he can get his health. And he was like, "How's the traffic?" "Oh, it's horrible. Don't you wish that the traffic would just part for you like the Red Sea?" "Yeah, I would wish that." I'm like, and you don't do nothing about the health part?
Right, because that technically that was the driver's wish, right? So he could have said, "In return, I'm getting your health." I don't see yet. Stupid writing. It makes no sense. This is as bad as the book I wrote. All right.
Okay. So all right. So is Cheetah still Cheetah? Because she wasn't shown renouncing her wish. And Patty Jenkins even said that she purposely left it kind of ambiguous about what happens to Cheetah. So I'm guessing Cheetah is still Cheetah because she didn't renounce her wish. Which then
she didn't have the cheetah, like she didn't look like a cheetah though. She was back to being
look like a cheetah, but then she didn't look like I'm not even gonna get to how you electrocute somebody in water, but you're not affected. But whatever.
Yeah, that was weird. That whole part was weird. And first I was like, Wonder Woman, are you? First I thought it was gonna kill her, and I'm like, Wonder Woman, you're like, oh, you're not gonna stop. Well, then you just have to die. I'm like, what kind of hero are you at that scene? Because I was like, she's just about to let her get electrocuted by this power line, which she did, by the way. It didn't kill her, but she still just let her get electrocuted by the power line. And I was like, even what?
By the way, in the comic book, she kills Max Lord by snapping his neck.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yes, she does.
I guess it's not surprising. Wonder Woman is kind of savage.
Wonder Woman is not above killing.
Yeah.
That's a Superman and Batman thing. Okay. So then, along the line of wishes, what happens with the people who don't renounce their wish? Like, everyone's like, oh, okay, I renounced my wish or whatever. But there had to be someone who's like, no, I got this paper. I'm not going to take this back. So then, does everything get undone? Do those people not get their stuff undone? Like, the guy who wished that lady to die and she died. Does she come back?
I think she did come back.
They didn't show her come back.
But my question was, if Maxwell Lord renounces his wish, does everyone else still get their wish?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking once he renounces his wish, it wipes out everybody else's.
No, but they made a point to show everyone renouncing their wish.
Yeah, but what is everyone wouldn't exactly, which means you have to verbally say you renounce your wish. There had to be
But
people.
they showed him renounce his wish last. He
So
did
you
it
think
after.
he has all the power?
Yeah,
I don't know.
because he became the stone. He wished to become the stone. So if he renounces his wish, none of that other stuff happens.
Everything just gets undone like a rewind button.
Yes.
That's all.
And I guess that's why no one else talks about what happened in 1984, because technically it didn't happen.
No, but
so
people remember it. Like it happened, it just got reversed.
Yeah, it just got done. Just doesn't make any sense.
The world swore to secrecy. Like, let's never speak of this again.
Cheetah still killed old dude on the street. Like, I'm just saying. Like, he's still dead.
Like, it's our
He
little
wasn't
secret.
dead. She was about to kill him.
He was dead.
Yeah, he was still moving when she walked away, right?
So, but I mean, she like put him in a coma or something, all right? That dude was not moving.
Oh yeah. He's definitely hospital bound.
She mollywopped him pretty good. She definitely did.
I mean, she kicked him 3 blocks down the street.
Oh,
I imagine he don't feel good.
There's a missing movie there, and now I'm upset because like you're probably not gonna get Cheetah again. Let's be real. I know Patty Jenkins said she left it ambiguous, but we're probably not gonna get Cheetah again, and that's upsetting.
It could have been better. I was excited to see her in the movie, only to realize that we didn't get her in the movie.
Yeah.
I know it could have been interesting because you started off with them becoming friends, and then you would have had that emotional thing of her having to fight a person she felt was a friend because they were going off the deep end. Like that is a much more interesting movie to me than Wish Guy. You know, like. But yeah, okay.
All right, that was my last nitpick.
All right, we about to rate this then?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, there were no good lines in the movie. I don't even remember any.
No good lines.
I don't remember.
No, it wasn't.
None. I'm gonna start off with our wonderful rating system that we have. There are 5 ratings for anyone who's new watching us. We start with greatest movie ever. Then I would pay for that. Below that, I will watch it while folding clothes. The 4th rating is pure torture, and the last rating is kill me first. I'm going to rate this movie pure torture.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to rate it kill me first.
Yeah, I wish I could give this movie negative points. Like, honestly. I want to give it to like negative 20 stars.
All right.
But since I can't, it is definitely kill me first.
I put mine above kill me first because there were some, like I said, some action scenes that I enjoyed. Cheetah versus Wonder Woman the first time I thought was good. You know, and like we said, the acting was fine in it. So yeah, but I get y'all. Kill me first on y'all too. Dan, you're the breaker here.
Kill me first.
All right. Please. That is the 3D Rivals rating of Wonder Woman 84. Kill us first before we watch this movie again.
Please. Just like the Green Lantern movie, I will never watch this ever again.
Mm-hmm.
No, this movie physically upset. Like, I'm angry at this movie.
I was mad.
Like, I don't want to see anything about ever. Never again.
I was mad. I'm still mad. I'm still upset.
Yep.
Think about all the things I could have been doing.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Any other movie? Wonder Woman 3. What do y'all think? What's gonna happen?
I don't even want to see it.
Kill me first.
I mean, where is it going to take place? Is it going to be present day? I hope so.
I think they said they're done with the past.
It's going to be 1985.
I mean, it could be redeemed. Patty Jenkins is still doing it, but maybe she'll go back to her original roots. I don't know. I have to see what she does with this Star Wars thing.
It can be redeemed. I mean, Thor: Dark World was bad, but Ragnarok was way much better.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah.
So it can be redeemed. It's just DC don't have a good track record with their movies.
I know, and I'm like, after this, everybody really is going to be like, man, these Marvel lovers, and they hate everything DC. Look, man, I want a good DC movie. I really do. I will stand to admit that DC superheroes are better than Marvel, but Marvel is knocking it out of the ballpark. Okay, all right.
My favorite superhero is a DC superhero.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine is Marvel.
Been Batman.
Everyone has Batman at the top of their list. No one dislikes Batman.
Yeah.
You know what?
And Batman has been the only consistent good movie.
Yeah. It's probably why this movie made me so upset is because I wanted it to be so good. Like, I was looking forward to this movie and I wanted it to be so good, only for it to turn out to be just so bad.
Look, if the Batman turns out to be bad,
the first Wonder Woman movie to be good as well, like that was a good movie.
Yeah, that added to it being disappointing.
Major step back.
Yeah,
major step back.
Yeah, if the Batman turns out to be bad, then I don't know. I've got to give up on DC. I don't know. Like,
I'm not really looking forward to it after seeing this movie. I'm not really looking forward to the Batman movies. I'm like.
Maybe that'll work in our favor, though. Maybe we'll just be going in with low expectations, and it'll just be an okay movie, but we'll think it's the greatest ever because our expectations were low. Also, you know what else? You know what else is upsetting about this? This is the first new movie that I got to watch this year. Not this year, but like in a while.
In a long time?
Yeah. You know, we were supposed to see so many new movies, and like, God, it's upsetting.
Yeah. Which now I'm kind of glad we ain't paid for this. Like, could you imagine I went to the movie theaters to see it?
Ah, man, dude, if we would have, I got that Cinemark. I just realized I got that Cinemark stuff, and I forgot I had it, so I had to have been paying for it like all this time. I've got so many free movie tickets. I've got endless free movie tickets. Next year is going to be set.
Make sure you use it on a DC movie because you're going to be mad more than likely.
Oh, my God.
Wish that you never paid for it.
Oh, yeah.
So disappointed.
Well, that was our thoughts on Wonder Woman 84. If you saw it, what did you think? If you haven't seen it, I'm going to say it again. Don't go see it. It's not a good movie. You know, you've heard me talk about movies that I didn't really like and say, well, go choose for yourself and blah, blah, blah. No, this isn't good.
No.
There's no part of this that is good. There's people reviewing this movie that's saying that it's the greatest movie ever. They're lying to you. Okay? It's lies. It's not good.
They're being paid to say it.
I get that everybody has an opinion and you're entitled to your opinion. That is true. You're wrong. Your opinion is absolutely wrong, but you are entitled to think that. But your opinion's wrong. So just want to put that out there. But yeah, with that being, yeah. Oh man. Well, yeah. Next time, I guess we're going back to our MCU rewind, right? That's what we're doing.
Black Panther?
Or did we do Thor Ragnarok already? We did Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
That was last week.
So Black Panther. Yeah, we'll be reviewing Black Panther next week.
A good movie. Yes. Need some redemption.
We still can't get past the bad CGI though, unfortunately, with that one. So yeah, we'll be checking that out. If you guys want to see us do our rewind review of Black Panther, make sure y'all check us out next week. You can reach us on Gmail. We're 3drivals@gmail.com. We're on Facebook as well, facebook.com/3drivals. You can tweet at us on Twitter. It's @3_rivals right there. And yeah, just let us know what you guys thought. Give a like or subscribe or follow wherever you're watching us or listening to us. And other than that, we appreciate it. Peace out.